Hello everybody, Pope here. I've got a couple matches for you today. Instead of running this around a tank or a particular lineup or a particular nation, the theme of today's video is why you should never quit. These are two come-from-behind matches where everything looks completely bleak and all hope is lost, but through continuously spawning and working with teammates, find our way to victory. And so in this first match, we were playing top tier Sweden 11.7, and my first spawn is an STRV 122A. That's a Leopard 2A5 derivative in the Swedish tree. And just for full disclosure, I've got a squad mate with me that I'm playing with that's in Discord comms. His name is Oppo. And as you can see by the icon, he hasn't spawned into the match yet, but he'll make his presence known at some point later on. So right here at the beginning, we move towards the A cap. It's a single cap A on Finland, which is honestly quite a terrible map for top tier, but it is what it is. So we see an M1A1 aim in the ditch, shoot him in the turret, do some damage. Don't get the kill shot on him, but a friendly does. That poor guy, I'm not quite sure what that was. It was an Abrams of some kind that was sticking his head a little bit too far above the hill. We'll make him pay for it by taking a barrel shot. And so we'll move back into the cap circle and try to get this cap done. So we've now got the A cap under control. Just kind of biding my time here, waiting for my squad mate to come in, as well as to see if anybody's going to push around that corner on the main road, and it doesn't appear that they are. So I'll move back over to the other flank down the middle road on the right. And we take a shot from a Challenger 2 from somewhere. It looks like it's coming from up there by that corpse on the top of the hill, but I wasn't sure, and that ultimately is end up where it's coming from. So I've got to do a little gun repair here. He took out my breach and my commander, and as you can see, he's just sitting up on the hill, completely and utterly oblivious to everything around him, not caring, and there's no friendlies that are doing anything to take care of him. So he'll kill a Leopard 2 PL. And finally, gun repair is done. We're able to come around the corner and knock him out. But not before he's killed a couple of our teammates. So at this point, the match still looks like it's fairly even. We've got control of the cap, but they've got more kills than we do. There's one particular person on their team in a British tank, I don't remember which one, that's got 4 kills so far. He has basically annihilated our entire team that pushed up that right flank. He single-handedly took them out. So right now I want to go back over to the cap and see if I can get enough peace to get a crew back. And so we'll start getting that commander back. And I get shot by something. And it's going to be over on the left in the eye. And so, yeah, so that means now for the rest of the match, they're going to have somebody over in the eye, and it's going to repeatedly come back to haunt me. Us. So second spawn is a T80U. It's for whatever reason, it's battle rating 11.7, or 10.7 rather. This is a spectacularly strong vehicle. It's exactly the same as the Russian T80U, except it gets 3 BM42 instead of 3 BM46. But it's honestly a distinction without a difference. This T80U is just as good, it's just as fast, it's just as effective. So as you can see, Red Rally on the other team, he's a console player, but he's in a Challenger 2, and he is basically wrecking our team. I think that's kill number 5 or number 6 for him with no deaths. And so now that we're here at the top of the hill, my squad mate and I are going to push over. He died, so I kept pushing, trying to find out where the guy was. Couldn't find him, took a couple rocket hits, and ultimately got shot from the front. And it's a pair of Abrams on the A-cap, and I died. So at this point in the match, I'm glad you guys can't hear my Discord comms, because I'm pretty upset at this point. I'm kind of ranting and raving and cussing and, doing all the fun things that we do. So, third spawn is a Leopard 2A6, and I wanted you to notice something. I've got a kill and a cap, and I'm in first place. And that should give you a pretty big picture as to the condition that my team is in. And at this point in time, I'm yelling at my team, why are they trying to spawn camp when the other team has the A cap and they've got a guy on the flank that has 5 or 6 kills? And it's just one of those rhetorical questions that you hope people see and listen to, but you really don't have much hope at this point during the game. So I'm moving up here with my my teammate again. He's pointing somebody out to me who's up there in the rocks. I'm trying to get a visual on him. There's 2 guys on the other team, if you could see it from that last score sheet, that are doing all the work on their team. So I've got somebody right there crossing. So I try to pop up over the hill and take a shot at him. We end up trading breaches. So I've got a breach and a loader on him. He killed the breach and my loader. And so with another Abrams right there, I'm trying to hide behind these rocks to avoid getting killed by this guy. I've got to hope that my teammate can come from behind him and kill him before he finishes me off. So I pop some smoke, and my squad mate is able to do that, which was an incredibly strong help. So now I've got a 25-second repair. And as you can see by the number of icons left on the map, there's 4 of us on the ground and 1 of us in the air, and there's most of the opposing team left. So at this point in time, it's looking pretty looking pretty bleak. And as you can see, when I typed in chat, I got a little frustrated with the German players on our team, calling them a bunch of useless Nazis, which was probably shouldn't have done that. It wasn't really nice to do, but the frustration is what it is. And so I traded there with the Abrams, took out his breach and his horizontal, and in return he bounced off my turret. Came back for a second shot, his engine's out, and this third shot will be a kill shot on this guy. Or at least I hoped. I don't know what I've got to do to kill this guy, so I'll just go for a driver shot and finish off his crew. That third shot should have been a kill shot through the turret neck, but it wasn't. So it's just 3 of us left on the ground. I'm backing off the cap. I've got engine noises. I'm not sure where they're coming from. So I don't want to push in to the A cap by myself because they've got us significantly outnumbered. There's engine noises coming from the right. My squad mate just got shot. You can see it on the replay, but I did not see it in game where that shot came from. I know he's over there somewhere, but I don't know where from. Like I can't figure out exactly where he was at. So I peeked a little bit again here, and I saw some movement, and I've got a turret there, and that was the Challenger 2, the guy that had 6 or 7 kills with no deaths. That was his first death. And so now what happens that always happens, you start to turn a match around and do well, and you get a bomb to the face from Cass. So yay Cass, fun and engaging. At this point, I'm down to my 4th spawn. I'm not sure what to take out at this point, so decided to go for the STRV-122B, the PLSS. This is quite honestly, frontally, probably the strongest tank in the game, and the fact that I'm using it as a 4th spawn should indicate just how strong a fully fleshed out Swedish top-tier lineup is, that I can, pick and choose other vehicles to take out before this. It's a luxury that most other nations don't really have. So at this point, I am the only person on our team left on the ground. Everybody else is in the air. There's 2 or 3 other guys left, and they're in the air. The opposing team has almost everybody left. And so, I mean, it is what it is. They've got control of the map. They've got control of the cap. They've got more tickets than we do. We're bleeding. And we just lost one of my helicopters. So yeah, it's looking pretty pointless at this point. It would have been real easy to stop spawning it would have been really easy to stop spawning and just give up. But that's not how we do it. As long as I've got spawn points left for the most part, I'm using them all. So I've got engine noises on my left, and that's the dude in the eye. And this is the same guy, I think, who was there at the very beginning of the match. He hasn't moved. This MFer is just sitting in there being an absolute rat. And so having to push onto the A cap with this guy covering it from the left is an absolutely impossible situation. So I tried to be a little bit sneaky and deploy smoke at an angle on my way up the hill. So I'm going to be able to get into the cap and at least get it decapped. At this point in time, I don't really care about getting the cap towards me, but I've got to get the ticket bleed to stop. So being the only one left on the ground, that was my job. So it's decapped. My squad mate has found a medium tank up here on the left, so I'm going to go up and give him a shot, try to help him since he's just in a Tunguska. And we've got a Challenger of some sort down there. It looks like a Tess, or a 2F rather. So his gun barrel comes out, and then as I look to the left, there's a guy coming down the the road at me. And thankfully, this thing has a fast enough reload that I was able to shoot him, and I came around the corner. So the Tunguska took out this guy right here in front of me. I took out the Black Knight, or the whatever Challenger it was. And so both of those guys are gone. They're respawning, but they're away from the cap at least. And now at this point in time, the enemy team has moved up onto the cap. They've got somebody on the A cap right now. So the decap was really important. If I hadn't decapped it, that whole little adventure on the side would have resulted in our loss. But there's somebody there. I just got shot from somebody to the left, and it's that rat bastard sitting over in the eye, just still absolutely camped there. So the cap is bleeding right now. The cap is, the points are bleeding, and I've got no choice at this point in time. I've got to go after him, and thankfully I've got a great reload, and I out-reloaded him and killed him. So popped into the A cap, decapped it again, so we're not bleeding anymore. And now I've got my squad mate with me up here on the A cap, and it's 2 versus them. However many they've got left is what we're dealing with. And it felt like a anti-tank missile or something. I don't know what that was that hit me, but yeah. So had to smoke, stay out of view of whatever it's in the air there that is that's shooting missiles at me and dealing with like somebody rushing from me. So I hear engine noises. There's somebody in the cap straight in front of me. It is neutraled out, so we're not gaining it anymore. And my squad mate got him. It was a Black Knight. So the cap is ours. The ticket bleed now is on our terms. And all we've got to do is defend the A cap from whatever they've got left. It's me, my squad mate, and there's a third guy on our team that's left on the ground. And so it's us against the world. There's no room for error here. And yeah, it's an automatic, and I shot the part of his hull that was empty, so he didn't die. He barely took any damage at all. But at this point in time, I'm in good shape. I've got 4 crew members, a tank that's in pretty good condition from a damage standpoint, and 2 teammates that are up here with me. And I don't know where that HSTVL was, but his turret landed right next to me, which was kind of cool. A little terrifying at the same time, because if he was behind me, I had no clue he was there. So I hear a lot of engines in front of me, and what I want to do at this point is pop up and try to deter them from coming over, but they've got somebody in the air, and it was a British Apache. So my next spawn, this is spawn number 5 for the game, is simply getting into an AA gun so that I can kill this Apache, because he's going to ruin the rest of our team single-handedly. If nobody shot him down, he was going to win the game for him. So at this point in time, he is dead. I don't think they have anything else in the air. I don't see anything else on the radar. So I'm talking to my teammates at this point, my one guy in Discord and the other guy on the ground, and they've assured me they can handle what's left. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 enemies left, the 3 of us, and we have the cap. So that match that looked so bleak is going to end up being a win. And it was only a win because I stayed, because my teammate stayed, because my blueberry teammate stayed. We would have lost this game had any of us left. And so this win from that terrible start was immensely satisfying. Yeah, so the title of the video is 3 Tricks to Win at War Thunder, and this game espoused all 3 of them. Spawn early, spawn often, don't quit, and never surrender. There's always a chance. So that's the final blow. Came in second place, 2 caps, 1 air kill, 5 ground kills, 3 assists, 4 deaths. And that was a full match. And so the rewards from that are going to be pretty significant. 80,000 lions, 18,000 research points. So, yeah, that was the first match. And here's the second one. And this is a 9.0 Italy lineup. So this first vehicle is the VRCC, which is a 9.0 premium for Italy. It's basically a Centauro that in real life was Spanish. It was a Spanish export version that the Italians exported. Functionally, it's the same as the other Centauros, with the one exception. It's got second-gen thermal imagers for the gunner as opposed to first on the other Centauros. So this thing is rank 1, and this is another match where I'm going to spawn early, I'm going to spawn often, I'm going to die a lot, but at the end of the day, coming back from a virtually win, it was a virtually no-win scenario. And this match is going to be another example of why you should play the game. So I've got somebody coming down the road there at me, and he takes the first shot, knocks out my engine. Thankfully, my crew is in good shape. So we just got to take a few seconds here to do this repair. And so partway through this repair, this guy comes around the corner. It ended up being a Type 16 FPS, which is the Japanese 8.7 premium Type 16. It's an excellent vehicle, but he really wasn't. I don't know what he was thinking coming around the corner on me like that, but put one shot into him and he died. So again, as you can see on this map, it's a 1 cap match. Now these ones are much more conducive to swings of luck from one team to the other. If this was a 3 cap match or 1 cap for each team, it might have been much more difficult. But because each team can move and contest and can flip caps, it creates a lot more dynamicness to the match. And so that right there, I don't know. It's one of those no armor, best armor metas. I hit him square in the middle of his tank, and it just floated in between everything, did no damage, and he was able to auto cannon me to death. So that's 1 kill, 1 death. We'll start off in the next vehicle, which is my OF40 MTCA. It's an 8.7 now. It used to be 9.0. It's an 8.7 Italian premium tank. It's basically the Italian version of the Leopard. The designs came in at the same time. This one right here is fast. It's got an improved engine on it, so it's 43 tons, 1,000 horsepower. So it's got really, really, really excellent mobility. At this battle rating 9.0, there's nothing better in the game in terms of a main battle tank than this. The XM1 at 9.3 is better, but at 9.0 and lower, this is as good as it gets for an MBT. And so I don't know if you saw from the spawn point cost when I spawned this in, but this is a full up tier. This is a 10.0 game. So I'm sitting bottom of the barrel, 9.0. That Wolfpack is a 9.7 tank. The tank that killed me earlier, the Swedish guy, he was a 10.0 tank. So we've got some action over here. I decided to try to help this Merkava get up the guts to go around the corner. Put a crit into that Type 16. He also put a crit into me. And so at this point, I'm not sure what's going on here. This Merkava just absolutely lost his sense of aggression. I don't know what he was thinking or why he backed off, why he didn't just push out and kill that guy, but he didn't. And so to myself, I'm kind of raging at that guy. I'm cussing at him, what the hell? Why, why didn't you push out? And so that's something to think about when you've got somebody in front of you and they've taken a shot. You really need to push and make it so that that shot wasn't taken in vain. If somebody's going to have the balls to go around the corner and potentially take the hit from an enemy, you at least need to have the aggression to follow it up. Now, I'm not sure what I'm doing here, why I'm looking at the HUD. Oh, I remember what this was. So I upgraded some components on my computer and had to reinstall the game, and my mini map was too small. So I'm looking for the to get my mini map back up to the appropriate size, because I was having a hard time with my old man eyesight figuring out where everybody was on the map. So here in third spawn, it's a Leopard 1A5. It's just an Italian branded Leopard 1A5. It's a good vehicle. It's pretty responsive in terms of mobility. It's got DM33, which is about as good as it gets at this battle rating from a 105 millimeter gun. And what I wanted to try to do with this particular spawn is to get over and interdict them horizontally coming out of either one of their spawns. So I'm trying to use that guy as an artificial hull chassis as cover, see if I can shoot over him. Didn't quite work out like I wanted to, so had to turn and change orientations. And when I look behind me, I see our OF-40, which is in trouble. He took a shot from somebody. So what do? I turn around, try to come back around the corner to render some assistance to him. It looks like there's either one or two enemies coming this way. There's two. So we'll take that guy to start. He tracked me, and hopefully this other guy doesn't come around the corner, but he does. Thankfully, he didn't hurt me. I got a gunner and a loader on him. Meanwhile, I'm in a track repair. So I'm trying to pixel snipe him right there. Ended up getting his commander, so he's done. And now there's going to be someone coming up behind me, and I can't do anything about it. I'm just screwed at that point. So the Leopard 1A1 ended up killing me, and so that's my third death. And so for the fourth spawn, I'm popping in the tech tree version of the OF-40 Mark IIA. This is essentially the same vehicle as the premium version, except it doesn't have the upgraded engine. So it's 43 tons, 830 horsepower spaded, as opposed to 1,000. So it's the same vehicle. It's roughly, you play it the same way, except this vehicle is it's just a little bit more sluggish, a little bit slower. But it's still perfectly fast. I mean, as you can see, I'm doing 58 on a road. So as you can see, the cap has gone back and forth between who's controlling it, our team and their team. If you look at the mini map, there's not many of ours guys left. There's 7 of us left on the map. And here's our friend the Merkava again, goes around a corner, gets absolutely wasted. I took care of the Leopard, but there's a Lav AD. I thought it was a Lav AD, but it ended up being an AFT-09, which is a Chinese 9.7 missile carrier. And yep, he killed me. So this is now spawn number 5. They've got the cap. They've got more players left on the map. But we're not quitting. And if you look at the kill feed, we're not trading very well. We killed one of theirs, they killed 2 of ours. So the numbers game continues to go in the favor of the other team. And so this is the Centauro 1 Romar. It's basically a 105 millimeter armed Centauro Gen 1 thermals, but it's got an ERA package on it, which gives it a little bit better protection against low quality heat rounds. not enough that it's going to make a difference against anything I'm fighting in this match. So at this point in the game, honestly, my goal right here was to get into the cap. You've got to try to keep that cap from bleeding on a one cap match. If you're not in control or if it's not neutral, you're losing. And so as you saw from the previous game, decapping and recapping is really, really important to keep these matches going. And to be quite honest, I wanted to make sure with all the deaths I've had that I can continue to spawn in new vehicles, because they're starting to get pretty expensive at this point. So I've got engine noises from somewhere. I can't really... I know they're in front of me a little bit. I don't know if it's to the right or if it's to the left. I'm just kind of hoping to guess right, and there's a Gepard. And thankfully I was able to kill the Gepard. He shot me, but he didn't do too much damage. He just knocked out my engine and turned a couple of my crew. Wounded a couple of those guys, so it's not going to be anything that's going to be, you know, too terribly debilitating. So the last place I want to be at this point in time is sitting static in the cap, especially on a road map playing on a vehicle that's wheeled. This thing is fast. I want to be mobile in it. And yeah, a dart to the turret of a WZ-305, which is the Chinese ZSU-57-2, that should have annihilated him, but as you can see, it just hit empty space in his turret, and he turned around and one-shot me. So I'm pretty salty in chat, trying to figure out, you know, when WZs can survive shots to the face. And this is what I'm talking about. All my vehicles are blacked out, or redded out rather. I don't have enough spawn points to spawn at anything except for an AA. And at this point in time in the match, it's being decapped, and all I've got is an AA. They've got, you know, 3 extra players, 3 players more than we do. And so it's just kind of like, what do we do at this point? And so I'm going to do what I can. If I can provide some defense against the air threat, that's what I'm going to do. Whether it's effective or not, I don't know. But, you know, if one of these planes is dealing with me or gets shot down by me and doesn't have a chance to kill teammates, then, you know, that's a teammate that has the opportunity to deal with their stuff on the ground. So as you can see, I was able to take out a G91, and there's a second one that buzzed me. And so if these guys are dealing with me avoiding my shots, they're not killing friendlies. So that's the goal here, is to kill these guys. I'm not sure why none of those shots hit. I was spraying real good on there, but second burst ended up getting him. And if you look on the map, we've got 2 AA guns and a tank, and they've got a guy in the cap. And that's it. And yeah, so the match right now is looking pretty... It's looking pretty bleak, honestly, if I'm being honest with you. I don't have any AP belt for this. I've got it unlocked. Unfortunately, I did not remember to equip it. So we've got a second light tank that spawned in. So there's 2 lights and 2 AA guns. I don't recall what the other guy was, but I am utterly useless against ground vehicles right now. This gun is nothing but HE rounds, and it's got 3mm of penetration. So I might be able to take a track off. Maybe I can take a track. I'm not going to be able to kill any gun barrels, but you know what? If nothing else, I can be a target. I can be engine noises around a corner. I can maybe try to shoot down a helicopter, and I'll fail miserably. I can decap. I can be annoying. I can be a threatening presence, but I'm not doing anything to ground vehicles. I've got to rely on my teammates. And so, to those of you who are thinking, you know, all I've got left is an AA gun, and there's no AP rounds in it, what am I supposed to do? This is what you're supposed to do: shoot down the planes when there's no planes left. Go over and be a target. Be a 6-second window for someone to come in and do some damage to the opposing team. Tank a shot. just like I did right there. I tanked a shot from that STRV 105, hoping that somebody else would be able to come in and kill him. They weren't, but the 2 plane kills, guess what? It got me into another vehicle. So this is spawn number 7, and as you can see, I've used most of my lineup. And this is the VBC Part 2. It's basically a wheeled vehicle with a 25 millimeter chain gun on it. It's very similar to what the Bradley runs, but I think it shoots faster. So it actually might be closer, more in line with the Dardo, the gun the Dardo gets. But as you can see, my team managed to kill that STRV 105, even if I can't drive, and they're on the cap. And so what looked like a no-win situation just 60 seconds ago now looks like it might have hope. So we're capping even though we're down on tickets. I've died 6 times. This is my 7th spawn. And, let's see what we can do. The teams have evened out. Our guys are still spawning, and theirs have stopped. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on 4 now. Much more even, especially given that we are in control of the cap, meaning it's them that has to push. They're under the time pressure now, not us. And so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to be effective against anything frontally, but if there's soft vehicles, I'm going to be a nasty, nasty find for them, and I'm going to go and try to make them not want to spawn. Get them coming out of the spawn. I hear a helicopter. I think it's the one that I was shooting at earlier that I was unable to kill. I hear him coming up, so I'm looking for him. This thing, it does not have air tracking on it, but it shoots a pretty fast dart, and there's the helicopter. It's a Z11 that killed one of our Centauros. So what we've got left is a guy that spawned in on the bottom left cap, and a guy hanging out near A, trying to keep them from decapping it. And I'm unable to shoot him, but he maneuvered to get out of the way, and he crashed on his own. So I'm going to take that as a maneuver kill for myself, even though I get no points for it. And the tickets are about to bleed off on their team. And so I kept spawning. I kept spawning, and I kept spawning. And I would like to think that my ability to get those 2 air kills and tank that shot and come in that VBC at the end contributed to our victory. And 78,000 lions, 12,600 research points. So yeah, that's why you don't quit, because you never know what's going to happen. And I thank y'all for watching. If you'd like to see some more, please like and subscribe. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.